I will too. Okay. Our next performer picked up her first romance novel at the ripe old age of 13 while sitting in her mom's minivan at a Walmart parking lot. This was clearly the genesis of a core memory because to this day, she voraciously consumes romance novels and has been seeking her own friends to lovers storyline ever since. Thank you. Please welcome to the stage, Courtney, Leigh.
Okay, let's start with how many of you are Dolly Parton fans? Okay, how many of you are fans of Dolly's 1982 holiday classic, Hard Candy Christmas? Okay, for those not familiar, the first line of this legendary hit is, "Hey, maybe I'll dye my hair." So right away, you know, oop, that's a breakup song. It's a genius first line because, and I speak with absolute authority here, every person in this room has made a significant change to their appearance after a breakup. And no, I'm not accepting any arguments at this time. In the song, Dolly goes on to say all these things that she could do post-breakup. Sleep real late? Check. Lose some weight? Check. Get drunk on apple wine? Yeah. Y'all know that's a check. Then the chorus comes in, and Dolly says she'll be just fine and dandy. But let's face it, anyone who says they're just fine and dandy is anything but just fine and dandy. Hardcore denial? Check. Queen Dolly finishes the chorus saying she can barely get through tomorrow, but she's not going to let sorrow bring her way down. This song is all silly and fun until you're approaching 37 and you've been single for every Christmas of your life except for 3. The first time I hear Dolly's iconic Christmas Gym is on the way to visit my grandparents for the holidays. Mom has a huge bag full of Christmas cassettes at the front of the minivan. Me and my siblings pop these puppies in one after the other, jamming out at the top of our lungs to banger after holiday banger. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Jingle Bells, the Barbra Streisand version. AKA the best version. Look it up. And then Hard Candy Christmas comes on. It's slow and depressing. The lyrics don't make much sense to 11-year-old me. Mom, this song sucks, I whine. Let's listen to Alvin and the Chipmunks again. Mom obliges because Mom always obliges. And Dad, he doesn't join family gatherings for the holidays. Instead, he stays home and calls her nonstop while we're away, accuses her of ignoring him, says she's selfish and that she doesn't care about him. It's Mom's very own Hard Candy Christmas. And that's Dad going easy on her. When we are all at home together, emotional abuse is just the gateway drug to other nightmares. At a young age, I make 2 promises to myself. I am never going to be like him, and I am never going to be like her either. No one will get close enough to hurt me like that. So now, we've circled back to the hardcore denial that Dolly conveys so well, because here I am just going through life like, everything's great, no depression here. No deep inner struggle between simultaneously craving and fearing emotional closeness to my fellow humans. Everything is just fine and dandy. This deep inner denial keeps me from realizing I'm queer for the longest time. Bisexual, to be precise. And by October of last year, I've been on a lot of lifeless first dates in my 35 years of life. And I'm on another first date with a woman that we'll call, I don't want to use her real name, so somebody give me a name.
Julie. Stephanie.
I heard Susan, I don't know why that name just like spoke to me, so I'm gonna go Susan. Okay. So with Susan, something feels different. We have a lot in common, but the conversation is less than amazing. And although she's pretty, I don't find her like super attractive. And yet, I'm flirting with Susan. Hard. After years of no spark with anyone, after hearing I'm getting friendship vibes one too many times, and after months of not one single itty bitty kiss, I'm really getting scared. Sitting across from Susan, some frustrated, lonely part of me snaps because I want this to freaking go somewhere. So I put on the shimmer and the charm. I laugh at all her jokes, give her the, I want to kiss you, do you want to kiss me? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Especially you lesbians. Well, guess what? It works. Susan and I make out, and you know what else? We start dating. That's right, y'all. October 2022, I'm in my first queer relationship. Okay, calm down. It's more like a situationship. But we're counting it. Because a situationship with Susan may not sound like much, but to me, it was huge. You see, my last semester of college, I had this epiphany about myself. And the epiphany was this. I am never going to be married, and I'm never going to have a lifelong partner. This epiphany came about because all semester long, I'd had a huge crush on this guy in my creative writing class. We'll call him Martin, because his name was Martin. The last day of class, Martin asked me out. My stomach clenches. My throat starts to close up. Every single thought leaves my head. I'm elated that he's noticed me, but I'm also furious that he's noticed me. I freak out, say, I'm sorry, but I'm not looking to date anyone right now, and I run far, far away from Martin. I now know that was the trauma taking over my body, but for 21-year-old me, my reaction appalls and terrifies me. I look around at my friends who are in and out of relationships, who are having casual sex, or who are already engaged or married, and then I look at me, who's doing none of these things, who literally ran away from a first date, and I realize there's something different going on here. Maybe I'm broken in some way. Maybe I'm not capable of love. Maybe I'm going to be alone forever. So I think to myself, okay, alone forever. I can either be sad about this and mope around, or I can accept this and live an extraordinary life anyway. Of course, there are other options, like, oh, I don't know, talking to a fucking therapist. But 21-year-old Courtney is nowhere near ready to dig into the shit that keeps a wall up between her and the rest of the world. So, believing those are my only two options, I go with option number 2. I live a beautiful, wondrous, extraordinary life. And that ethos gets me through a lot of years and a lot of Christmases single, but quite content. But then little old oblivious 31-year-old me is at my best friend's wedding. I'm a bridesmaid, just looking around, taking it all in, when something wonderful yet terrifying happens. Watching the ceremony, the love I witness soaks deep down inside me. It cracks through my long-held misbelief and opens my eyes to the truth. I want that kind of love. I want a love worth fighting for, worth staying for, worth working through all the deep, dark shit for. And I can no longer go on living my life pretending that I don't. So what does any of that have to do with my first quasi-serious queer relationship with Susan? Well, near the end of November last year, I'm sitting on the couch with Susan, I'm making out, and there's this voice inside my head saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you're kissing her. It feels so good. And oh, her hand is up your shirt. And you like this. You really, really like this. But then there's another voice saying, yeah, but she talks about herself nonstop and literally never asks you anything about yourself. Are you sure she actually likes you? But Christmas cuddles, we can make them happen this year. But you brought up your concerns, and that was 2 weeks ago, and nothing's changed. Okay, can you shut up, because we're really enjoying this right now? Better question, do you actually like her? Damn it, I want my Christmas cuddles! Thus, I stretched something out for 2 months that should have ended after 2 dates. Well, I started out with so much hope that I could finally put Dolly's holiday classic to rest. The day after Thanksgiving last year, I ended things with Susan. Right away, those old misbeliefs start rearing their ugly heads. You're never going to find someone. You're going to be alone forever. You're not capable of romantic love. What's scarier, 35-year-old Courtney stares at the ceiling, listens to Hard Candy Christmas on repeat, and asks herself, am I even bi? Because at this point, I haven't had a girlfriend. I haven't had sex with anyone other than a cis man. And as much as I tell myself these things shouldn't matter, that they don't define my bisexuality, they do matter. Yet I didn't even want these things with Susan. Being queer is magical, but doesn't magically make you someone you're not. With dating, I've always been selective and discerning, guided by my core values. I rarely make it past first and second dates, and casual hookups aren't appealing to me. And then when I do have sex, I get super attached. And I've learned the hard way that I need to wait until both parties are ready for a serious relationship if I want to avoid devastating, catastrophic heartbreak. So, plot twist. Shortly after I end things with Susan, after the holidays have come and gone, I meet someone else. We'll call her nameless woman responsible for the aforementioned devastating, catastrophic heartbreak. So we'll just go for nameless, for short. I fall in love with Nameless. We have amazing sex. I open up more than I've ever opened up with any romantic partner. And I realize that while staying with Susan might have prevented some catastrophic heartbreak, it also would have prevented me from moving further along my path to finding the first woman I ever loved. Most importantly, it would have prevented me from feeling more confident and settled in my queerness. I wish I could tell you that things eventually work out with Nameless, but of course, we're heading into the most wonderful time of the year and I'm single again. When you're the perennially single person at every family event, every friend's wedding, every holiday dinner, it's easy to turn bitter and jaded. As our dear friend Dolly knows, it's also way too easy to let sorrow bring us way down. Instead, this year I plan to cherish each romantic partner who's come into my life and helped me uncover an unknown part of myself. And I'll remind myself that I'm surrounded by beauty, friendship, and love, and always have been. So just like Dolly assures her listeners at the end of her iconic track, I will assure you too, oh, I'll be fine.
Go give it up for Courtney, Leigh.